Hello everyone, welcome to all in this lecture. In this lecture, I am going to discuss contour. Okay, so let's discuss the contour. But before the discuss the contour, I am going to discuss why we need contours, why we need contour lines. So this is one topographic map. You can see here topographic map. So by drawing or a topographic map, we need a horizontal distance between 2 points. We need vertical distance between 2 points. It means we need horizontal control also, like distance, angle, and vertical control also. So this vertical control we can draw by a hashing line or dotted line, and generally we draw this vertical control by contour lines. We represent the vertical distance and vertical position and vertical elevation. So all this elevation we draw on map, on topographic map by using the contour lines. So once we can draw the topographic map, so we can get the idea where is river, where is hilly portion, like where is ground is elevated. We can get the idea where is ground is dispersed. Okay, we can get the where is the river side, where is the forest side. Okay, where the water can be collected. So there are so many idea we can get by looking for this topographic map. So it's very important to draw a contour line and to draw a contour so that we can get the control in vertical plane. Okay, like distance, like angle in vertical plane. So what is contour? Now come to the definition. So contour is an imaginary line on the ground joining the points of equal elevation. What is elevation? Elevation is a vertical distance from a reference datum. It is the vertical distance from the reference datum. Suppose this is the earth. Okay, so this point is A. So what will be the distance from this earth? And that is mean sea level. Suppose this is mean sea level. So this vertical distance V we can call a elevation of point A is V. Okay. So imaginary line. Contour is an imaginary line on the ground joining the points of equal elevation. Means suppose this is a one contour line. So every point, suppose this elevation at this point is 100 meter. So at every point on this curve, on this line will be elevation will be 100 meter. So it is the imaginary line on the ground joining the points of equal elevation. Equal elevation. You can also define it is a line in which the surface of the ground is intersected by a level surface. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a figure like, okay, this is earth. Okay, and suppose this is the level line. Level line. This is again a level line. This is again a level line. Now we can say this level line of elevation 100 meter. This is 101 meter. This is 102 meter. Okay, so this is a line which surface of the ground is intersected by level surface. So we can call, okay, this line can be a contour line on the ground. On the ground. Are you getting a point? So this is the contour line. Okay, this is contour line which is representing the equal elevation. Now also we can define contour line is a line on the map representing contour, representing the equal elevation. Right? Now you can see in the figure, this one. This is the actual ground. This is the actual ground. You can understand like pond. Okay? This is the actual ground. So now obviously this point of this elevation This point elevation is 80 meter. Suppose this data in meter. This point is 25 meter. This point is 70 meter. This point is 65 meter. This point is 60 meter. Again, you come to this point is 65, 70, 75, 80. Now we are going to draw a line which will represent the equal elevation. So this point will project a paper, a drawing sheet here. This point will project here, and we can draw a line. See, this picture is in 2D, but you can imagine this is like surrounded, right? Surrounded means like I'm going to say this is the distance is around. Suppose this area is at the circular. So area we can cross section area we can keep pi r square. Cross section area we can say this is pi r square. Okay, so we can write elevation of each points on a map or plan. So we can this line. So we have drawn this line, and elevation is showing here 80. Because elevation is showing here 80. It means this is a contour line. So every point on this line that is representing the equal elevation, that is representing the 80 meter elevation. Similarly, this one, every point on this line, circular line, you can see in the figure, in this line representing the 75 meter elevation. Next line is showing 70 meters, 65 meter. So you can see that reading that the elevation is decreasing towards the center. So the elevation is decreasing towards the center. It means it is showing a dispersed section. Okay, that can be pond, that can be reservoir. Okay, that can be river. Okay, so river we cannot call a river because river will be like this, but not it won't be circular like this is a pond. Everywhere you can get river it will not like this. So we can say pond or some reservoir also. Now in this case you can see like okay at this point elevation is 80 meter, at this point elevation is 75 meter, 70 meter. Now we can draw this elevation on a drawing sheet on a plan. Okay, so that will represent the contour line. So this line is showing the contour line. So every point on this line will represent the how much? 60 meter elevation. 60 meter elevation. Similarly, next one, it is showing 65 meter elevation. So we can say in this case where you can see like okay we are going towards the center and towards the inners of contour lines. So if you are going inside you can see like okay the elevation is increasing. Here you can see elevation is increasing here 70 years 60, 65, 70, 80. So when elevation is increasing towards inside contour lines, it means it will show a hill or elevated portion of earth. In this case, you can see here the ground is coming like this. Means at this point you will see the elevation is vary, but horizontal distance is not turning. Means on a single point, there we are getting so many elevation, so many point which is equal elevation. Okay, so you can see this the many contour lines are intersecting at this point. So when many lines are intersecting at a single point, it means it is showing a vertical cliff. It means at that point that ground is suddenly elevated. Come to this section. This is the example of overhanging cliff. So this case you can see like this point and this point we are getting two elevation. Like this point has a different elevation and this point has a different elevation. Okay, so how we can then draw a horizontal? So you can see like at this point in contour line will intersect. So as a theoretical, and we will see the characteristic of contours. So the two contour lines will not coincide, will not intersect to each other. So when it will intersect, it means there is a case of overhanging cliff. This is also showing contour lines. You can see these all the lines are contour lines, which showing the equal elevation of 100 meter. This contour line is showing 99 meter, 97, 95, like this. In the case of ridge line, also you can see this contour line are drawn here. So contour line is an imaginary line on the ground joining the point of equal elevation. In the previous lecture, also we have discussed what is the elevation in the leveling chapter and how we get the elevation, how we can calculate the elevation by using the dumpy level, auto level. There are a few instruments that by using that we can get the elevation. So when we can get the, okay, suppose we are working in an area, okay, and every point we know the elevation. So we will join that a point which is equal, representing the equal elevation. So that line we will join by hand. So that will be called a contour line. So to draw a contour line or to get the contour line, we have to calculate on few points. We have to calculate the elevation so that we can get the idea. Okay, so we can draw a contour line by meeting a line by drawing a line through equal elevation. In case of pond, you can see in the figure, this one, this is a very real life example. So we know that what is the level surface. So we can say that each point of level surface that is perpendicular to the direction of gravity, and water surface is truly represent the level surface. Okay, so in this case you can say when the water level is at this position, suppose this is the first position, so you can see, you can draw a line. This is the water mark, this is the water mark, right? Now we can say this water mark is representing equal elevation. This is representing the equal elevation, equal elevation. So now we can say when a line representing the equal elevation or a line with joining the equal elevation, that we can call a contour line. Okay, so the water mark will represent by the water, that is called contour line. So once, now we got one contour line. Now suppose we are adding some water. We are adding some water, so water level will increase on this pond. Water level will increase. So now suppose the water level came to here. So now when it will represent the next second water mark. So when water level is here up to here, so it will represent like this. Like this. Okay, so this line we can call a contour line, a different contour line. Now we can call a different contour line with different elevations, right? So this water mark will represent a truly contour line. Are you getting my point? Okay. Contour interval. This is very important. The vertical distance, I'm talking about vertical distance, not horizontal distance. Vertical distance means we are taking a distance, we are measuring a distance in the vertical direction, right? Suppose this is x-axis horizontal, then we are talking about y-axis. So vertical distance between any two consecutive contours is called contour interval. Contour interval. Okay. So we have seen in the figure like vertical distance. Yeah, here. So this one contour line. So two consecutive contour lines. This one. So the vertical distance in between these two consecutive contour line is called contour interval. So now we can calculate contour interval for this map. So we can say like, okay, this elevation of this line is 80, elevation of this line is 75. Okay, so elevation is given. Elevation is given in vertical direction. It means this one is 80 and this one is 75. So what is the vertical distance between them? So 80 minus 75, we can get the 5. So here contour interval is 5 meter. Contour interval क्या होगा? 5 meter. Now, so vertical distance between two consecutive contours is called contour interval. Don't confuse, don't go with horizontal distance. I'm talking about vertical distance, right? Okay, so contour interval is kept constant for contour plans. If we are going to draw a contour plan, suppose we are going to draw a contour plan. So contour interval will be constant for this plans. Contour interval will be constant. Means we cannot differentiate. We cannot use the different value of contour interval in a single contour plan, right? Like we are going to use like we have used like this, half one contour interval is different and half one contour interval different. That will be wrong. So for this plan, contour interval will be constant, so that we can differentiate. Okay, here you can see here is the dispersed, like ground is dispersed. Here we can say ground is elevated. Here is the reservoir. We can say, so we can get the actual features of the ground by keeping the constant contour interval. So the horizontal distance between 2 points on 2 consecutive contours is known as horizontal equivalent. Horizontal equivalent. Now come to this figure. Vertical distance between these, this is called contour interval. Okay, and horizontal distance between these two lines, two contour lines. So we can get this one. I'm using a different color. Okay, this one, or you can write here like this one contour line is here, one contour line is here, like this one and this one. So horizontal distance between these two lines is called horizontal equivalent. Okay, like this to a contour line. So elevation is 100 meter. Here this elevation is 105 meter. So in this case we can say contour interval will be 105 minus 100 equal to 5 meter. And horizontal distance, let's say we have using the tape, we have measured a distance, horizontal distance by applying some slope correction or all those things. Horizontal distance we have calculated like 10 meter. So horizontal equivalent will be 10 meter. So contour interval we can keep a constant on contour plan, but what value we will select contour interval, so that will depends upon the following: the nature of the ground. The nature of the ground means, what are the nature of the ground? Like ground is undulated, ground is gradually varying, ground is steep. So that features according to that. If the ground is flat, so we will keep less contour interval. Less contour interval, so that we can get the actual features of the ground, and we can get the actual undulating features of the ground, like where the ground is elevated ground, where the ground is this first. Okay. On the other hand, where the ground is undulated ground like this, like in this case you can see, imagine like, okay, ground is like this, flat. So in this case we will take the greater contour interval or larger contour interval. Larger contour interval. Suppose in the flat case where the ground is flat, you have taken the large contour interval. So what will happen? One contour will draw here, one contour will draw here. In between, there will not there won't be any contour lines. So if there won't be any contour lines, so we cannot judge like, okay, in between what are the features of the ground. Okay, here they one is the contouring line, here they one is contour line. So we need to know the features of ground in the flat case, so we have to reduce the contour interval. On the other hand, when the undulated ground, so suppose you have taken a very small contour interval. So contour interval. So we will see a number of contour lines like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So it is true, like we will get actual features of the ground, but what will happen, you will say that contour lines are very close to each other. Features we will get, that is no issue. हमें actual ground मिलेगा, actual features मिलेगा, but what is the problem? That contour lines will close to each other. So that is a problem. So in this case, we have to increase the contour interval. In the figure, you can see in this case, they are getting so many contour lines. In this case, we are getting a less contour lines. So we can show this is the example of flat surface. This will show the highly undulated ground. Second, a scale of map. A scale of map. What is a scale? Map distance divided by ground distance. Okay, so this is a scale. So contour interval, general expression, we can write contour interval is inversely proportional to scale. It means once a scale is small, then we will take a large contour interval. Same region, we can give the same region. Okay, and when a scale is large, then we will take the small contour interval. So these both are contour interval and a scale are inversely proportional to each other. Because we are talking about ground distance. When you are talking about a scale is large, means ground distance is lower, which representing the on map. Okay, so when ground distance is representing lower, so we have take the lower contour interval. Are you getting my point? On the other hand, when that scale is very small, means that ground is large, ground distance is large, is representing on scale. So when the ground distance is representing land, we have to increase the contour interval. Okay, I am relating with this ground distance, this one with the contour interval. So that roughly you can write that scale is inversely proportional to the contour interval, or contour interval is inversely proportional to the scale. Third one, the purpose and extent of the survey. Purpose, according to purpose and extent of the survey, we also select the contour interval. Like when you are going to calculate, we are going to fix contour interval for a design work, or we can say some precise work. So each and every data we need accurately. Okay, so we are going to do some earthwork calculation. So in all these cases, we need a very less data, very each and every data we need accurately. So that in this case, we have to do, and we have to choose the contour interval is less. In this case, we can choose the contour interval is less to get the more accuracy, to get the actual value, actual data. Okay, but on the other hand, suppose we are uh, going to fix contour interval for a large extent of survey, large extent of survey, जहां पे अगर थोड़ा बहुत मिस्टेक भी हुआ तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, राइट? सो इन दैट केस यू विल से like reservoir, and some large survey is going on. Okay, so where we required a very less accuracy compared to the previous one. So in that case, you can take the large control interval also. So that is depend upon the purpose, what purpose we have. Time and expansion of the field and office work. This is very important. Like obviously, suppose you have taken the greater contour interval, So once we have taken the greater contour interval, so time will be less. Time will be in the contour interval you have taken a larger, then less time will be taken to complete the work, to complete the survey, or to draw the contour lines. Okay, when contour interval is less, then more time will take to complete the work. Okay, so when we have the large time, enough time, so we can take the greater contour interval, so good to get the more accuracy on all that. But suppose we have the very less time, we have to complete our survey or our work to a very limited time. So in that case, we can go for the less contour. Less time, then we can go for the large contour interval to finish the work within the limit of time that we have. In case of reservoir, this is example of reservoir. So in that case, you can take the large contour interval. These are the following data of contour interval. So that generally we use for different types of ground, for different scale. Okay, so in the first column you can see the scale of map, then type of ground and contour interval. So where the scale of map is 1 centimeter equal to 10 meter or less. For the flat ground, we take the contour interval 0.2 to 0.5 meter. So a general formula. We have how we can calculate contour, or how we can fix the contour interval. So that is 25 divided by number of centimeter per kilometer in meter, right? So by using this formula, we can calculate, like I'm calculating contour interval for this case, for where the scale is 1 centimeter equal to 10 meter. So we have to calculate for 1 kilometer. So for 1 kilometer, that is 100 meter, 1000 meter is equal to multiply with 100, so 100 centimeter, right? So we can say 100 centimeter equal to 1 kilometer. So now we can use the formula contour interval Ci is equal to 25 divided by 100. So we can get here 1 by 4 and 0.25. So we can keep interval 0.25 in this case. Okay. For this case, we can also calculate the contour interval, what we can select. So contour interval, basically we can select according to this formula. So we can get the idea, okay, what contour interval we should fix. So that is 25 divided by number of centimeter per kilometer. Characteristics of contour. Two contours lined of different elevation. We are talking two contours lined of different elevation cannot cross each other. You can see in the figure, cannot cross each other. If they did, the point of intersection would be two different elevation which is obscure. गलत है, ऐसा नहीं होगा. बट अगर ऐसा हुआ तो किस केस में होगा? इन केस ऑफ ओवरहैंगिंग क्लिफ. इसको कहते हैं ओवरहैंगिंग क्लिफ. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? लेट्स सी, एट दिस पॉइंट elevation will be larger than this point. Okay, so you can see in the figure also, like at this point elevation is 250. You can see here at this point elevation is 250. Now come to this point. At this point a different line is coming, that is elevation is 150. Sorry, this is 150 and this is 250. So at a single point we have to show two elevations. So means two contour line will cross. So how we can show on this horizontal paper or drawing sheet or on plan? So in that case you will see this contour line intersecting to each other. So you can see that this contour line with the 250 meter elevation, this one, and this contour line with this one 200 are intersecting. So this data is 200. Okay, you can see here somewhere intersecting 200. This is 150. So this is not 150. This is 150. This is 200. Sorry, this is 200. Okay, so a single point we have to draw two elevation like 200 and 250 meter. So means a contour line with elevation carrying 200 meter and a different contour line with carrying the 250 meter elevation. Okay, and we have to draw this two contour line on a single point. So how it will happen? So we'll see in this case this will cross to each other. One will be intersect to each other. Okay, so it will be possible only in case of overhanging cliff. So rarely you will see on the ground or an elevated portion. Okay, or on this case of cave. Also you can say in this when you draw the contour line, they will also cross, and you can see at this point elevation is this one also. At this point elevation is this one also, like 100 meters. Suppose this one is 107 meter. So at this point we have to show 100 meter elevation also and 177 meter elevation also. So in this case you will see that contour line will cross to each other. Contour lines of different elevation can unite to form one line only in the case of vertical. Obviously, whenever you see this contour line, you can imagine like this point. See this point on the ground or in this map. So in this point, it's showing. You can see in the figure. This point, its contour line is different. Contour line is going from this point. It means this point is showing 350 meter elevation also, 300 elevation also, and this is also showing 250 meter elevation also. What is this? 450 elevation also. So a single point, this different elevation are showing. It means there is a, at this point, that wall or whatever the field or ground, it's suddenly elevated. Like suppose this is a building and this is a wall of a building. You can see at this point different elevation. Like you can say this is 100 meter, this is 102 meter, this is a 103 meter. So at this point the contour line will close, and different contour lines with different elevation will close it through a single point at this point. Okay, so when it is happening, it means there is a vertical cliff. So these are the characteristics of contour. By looking the contour lines, you can get so many idea about the actual features of the ground. Contour lines close together indicate a steep slope. They indicate gentle slope if they are apart. Obviously, you can say in this figure, on this one, when in this case you can see that this closed contour interval are closed. So when it is closed, then you can see closed means what? Two contours are closer. It means that horizontal distance is in between two contour lines are less. So when horizontal distance between two contour lines are less, means slope will be steep slope. Like I'm going to say this elevation is this one, this line is this, and it is representing the less value of this horizontal line. It means that this angle will be increased. This angle will be increased if this value will be decreased. This length will be decreased. Right? So in this case, when the contour lines are closing to each other, then that will be so the steep slope. Ground is the steep slope. On the other hand, when the two distance, like compared to this one, I'm talking about the second one, that this distance increase, and this is the okay. Okay, so this distance is same. So now this distance is equal to this distance. This is got increased. So if this got increased, so alpha 2 value will be decreased compared to alpha. Right? So this will show the gentle slope. Means when the two contours line are apart from each other, that will be show a gentle slope. So by looking at these contours, we can get the idea about the actual features of the ground. The contour passing through any point is perpendicular to the line of steepest slope at that point. This is important. How it is happening? A contour line passing through a point is perpendicular to the line of steepest slope at that point. Steepest slope. Why it is happening? Because we know that like this is two contour line, and we know that a shortest distance between two contour lines will be perpendicular. If we are going to calculate a distance between two contour lines, shortest distance between two lines. So we can see like this will be the perpendicular. This will be the perpendicular lines. Okay. So now we can say, so that will be so as the perpendicular. The closed contour lines with one or higher, more higher one inside, it represent a hill. You can see in the figure, this one. So you can see in this case that contour lines with higher elevation is inside. So in actual ground, you will see it will be like this roughly. So that will be so a hill. On the other hand, you will see in this case that towards inside, you can see that the elevation is decreasing. So that will show a dispersed structure, dispersed ground. So you can see there is a, in the case of pond also we have discussed, in the case of pond, you will see this case, you will see this type of, when the higher elevation contour will be outside like this, it will be decrease like this. Okay. Two contour line having the same elevations cannot unite and continue as a one line. Similarly, a single contour line cannot split into two lines. This is very important. Same elevation cannot unite. Two contour lines having the same elevation cannot unite. See, there are two elevations. See, that contour line we are drawing, contour line can be a different contour line with the same elevations, right? So that will not coincide with each other. Like I'm discussing this map. See here. Suppose here, you can see here a contour line. This can be 100 meters of elevation. Some other line here, possibly that this will be also can be possible. It can be 100 meters. So this line will not meet and will be form a one line. Okay, so with the same elevation, two different elevation can be two different contour lines. Here this is the one contour line, here this is the second contour line. So two contour line with the same elevation will not join, will not be coincide each other and form a one line. Similarly, like a single, you can see here, a single contour line cannot be split in two contour lines. Okay, this cannot be split into two contour lines. Okay, because in the figure, this one and this one, the contour line cross a watershed or ridge line at right angle. So when you're talking about the ridge line here and a valley, so in this case we'll draw the contour line. It will cross a 90-degree with ridge line. This will be a 90-degree. Okay, this will be here a 90-degree. Method of locating of contour. Method of locating contours. So there are two methods using that we can locate the contour. So the first method is direct method. So directly we will go on the field and we will calculate where is the contour line will cross with equal elevation. This means we will go to the ground and we will locate the point which is equal elevations. We will locate the point with the equal elevation, then we can draw. Okay, so that will be done by in two method, two procedure we can say, or two steps, like horizontal control, like vertical control and horizontal control. Right. So first we will do this one, then we can go for this one. So in this method, contour can be plotted. Contour the plotted actually trace on the ground. Trace on the ground means what will happen? Suppose this is the ground. You can see in the figure. Okay, and we will mark randomly. We will mark a station like this dotted line. Okay, so how it will come? See. So first what we will do, we will keep the instrument here. We will set the instrument here. We will centering, leveling, we will done all those things. After doing this, we will get from the benchmark, we will get the height of instrument. We will get the height of instrument. Now, let's take example like from the benchmark, RL of benchmark is 200 meter. RL of benchmark 200 meter. We can take a benchmark, some fixed, if some reference point, or if there's some that benchmarks apart from this, very apart from this, this far from this field. So by using the fly leveling, we can transfer that level or that benchmark near to this ground. Okay, then we will suppose the RL of benchmark, we get after doing this fly leveling, we get this 200 meter. Now we take the stab reading at some points. Okay, and then suppose the stab reading we get 1.8 meter. 1.8 meter. So height of instrument we can get here. Height of instrument, this is the back side also we can call. So height of instrument we get here 1.8 meter, right? So suppose this is the stab, we get here 2.20, 1.8 height of instrument we get this meter. Now we kept somewhere foresight, somewhere. Suppose we kept here a leveling stab. लेवलिंग स्टाफ एंड इसकी रीडिंग कितनी आ रही है, मान लो 1 मीटर आ रहा है फॉर एग्जांपल, इसके रीडिंग कितना आ रहा है 1 मीटर. So RL of this point will be 200.8, that is height of instrument, minus this reading, outside intermediate side reading we can call. So 1, so reading will be getting 200.8 meter. Now this is a staff where we get the 1 meter. We will keep a staff on the ground at a different location, at a different position, and we will mark the ground where we get the instrument reading is 1 meter. Instrument reading is 1 meter means by keeping the instrument there, wherever you will read the reading on leveling a staff is 1 meter, it will be show a equal elevation. It will show a equal elevation. Like you can see in the figure here, kept a staff, we got a 1 meter. Here it will show a 1 meter. Here also we kept a staff 1 meter. Here also we kept a star 1 meter. Here also 1 meter, 1 meter. So we will join a point on this, on the ground, this line. So we got this line by joining the point where we keep instrument, leveling staff instrument, and that was showing 1 meter reading. So we got this line. So this line is contour line. We can call by the definition. What is the definition of contour line? So the imaginary line which joining the point which is equal elevation, joining the point of equal elevation, that is contour line. So you can see these lines are contour line with some elevation, but with some elevation, and that elevation is 200.8 meter. Now come to here. Suppose you got the staff reading at this point is, for example, take 1.5. So means RL of this point will be height of instrument minus reading, that is IS. Okay. Now, so we got here, previously we have taken 1.8 minus 1.5, right? So we'll get 0.8.3 meter. Okay. Now we will keep a staff where the reading is 1.5 meter we taken. Now we will keep the staff in a different station or a different points on the ground. So whenever we'll see, okay, that at this point that the staff reading is 1.5 meters, we will just mark it. So we can mark here. Here we get again 1.5 meter. Here also we get 1.5 meter. So we will join a line through these points. So that will be a different contour line we can get. So this is the vertical, this is the step we can call a vertical control. First, we take the instrument, leveling instrument, we take on a field, and we will choose a place like we can see, and every points on the ground will be visible. Okay, once it is done, then we can calculate the height of instruments by assuming some benchmark, RL of some benchmark. Once height of instrument is done, then we will take intermediate side and we will keep the leveling staff at different position, at different location of field. So where that will show a equal staff reading. So means it will be equal staff reading, just it will show a equal RL like this. Suppose we have kept this leveling staff and this staff we kept here. On every staff reading it's showing, suppose 1 meter. Here is 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. It means elevation of all this station or this point on the ground will be equal. It will be equal elevation. It has a equal elevation, right? So once vertical contour is done, then we can go for the next procedure, that is vertical control. Sorry, this is vertical control. You can just correct it. Once vertical control procedure is done, then we can go for the horizontal control. Okay, so horizontal control, once it is done, after having located the points on the various contours, they have to be surveyed with the chain surveying or traverse. So we can do the surveying using if the area is small, then we can, if the area is small, then we can use the chain survey. Okay, once area is larger, then we can use the traversing. We can do the traversing. Okay, so we can mark the point A and B, and then we can do the traversing to locate all this surveying. To do the surveying, we can calculate the horizontal distance between these points to get the horizontal equivalent. Okay, so surveying procedure we can do. So that is called horizontal control. That is called horizontal control. So if the area is small, so a single person or work can be done by like, okay, once vertical control is done, then we can go for the horizontal control. If the area is large, then similar both procedure we can do. Like we are going to do, if someone is doing this vertical control, then parallelly we can go for the horizontal control. So like this is done, then we can go to survey these points. Okay, so both for the small work, both procedure can be do simultaneously. Okay, if large area is there, then we cannot do simultaneously. Okay, no, sorry, if the large surveying we have to do, then we can go for the parallelly. If the small is there, so once we will complete this control or vertical control, then we can go for the horizontal control. Indirect method. Indirect method, it means we will not directly calculate we will not calculate the contours or contour line, or we will not directly calculate the elevation of the points which is equal elevation, right? So in this case, what we will do, you can see here, like on this plan, we will draw this figure or this plan with the number of squares. If number of squares, so these are the square, and we will try to keep the square with the same size. Keep the square with the same size. Okay, so what we will do once it is done, like we have divided the whole plan or drawing sheet, so in number of squares. So when it is done, then we will calculate elevation at this point, corner. Every corner of a square we will calculate the elevation. Right, and then we will calculate the contours of different elevation with interpolation. So by doing the interpolation, there is a assumption. It is assumed that the slope between any two adjacent guide points is uniform. It is what it means. It means like, okay, this point as a elevation A is, for example, this is 100 meter and B is 101 meter, like 100 meter, 100 meter. So ground can be like this, between A and B. Ground can be like this, concave, then convex, like this. But we are going to assume like, okay, this ground, like here the 100 meter elevation, here is the 100 elevation. So ground will be like this. Means whatever the elevation between this ground will be so a uniform slope throughout this distance throughout between A and B. Are you getting point? Means it will show a ground is like this. Suppose this is 1.102.8, 0.28. So it will be ground like this here. Okay, this is 1.2.6, 1.1. This will be like this. Okay, so slope between any two adjacent guide points will be uniform. Okay, so by if we have taken the assumption is uniform, then we can do the interpolation. What is the basic meaning of the interpolation? See, like A and B. So A has elevation is 100 meter, B has a elevation is 1.5 meter, for example. Okay, now This is, so this height will be 5 meter. Suppose this horizontal distance is again 5 meter. So we are assuming this a straight line between this A and B. Okay. A and B is showing the elevation on this drawing sheet. Okay. So now we are going to find the elevation at this point, that is P. So that we can find by interpolation. Are you getting point? So see, here is elevation is 100, here is 105 meter. So what is this distance? Suppose this horizontal distance between this point is 2.5 meter. So we can also call this will be the 2.5 meter. So if 2.5 meter, then elevation we can write 100 plus 2.5, that will become 102.5. So this is called interpolation. Okay, this is called interpolation. You can read this all this whatever I mentioned. So in this method, area to be surveyed divided into number of a square. Size generally vary from 5 to 20 meter. And for a single walk, that size will be constant. We cannot change the size in between. Like this square has a different side and this square a different size. That will be wrong. Each and every square will have the same size. Okay. The elevation of the corner of a square are then determined by means of label and staff. So by using the leveling and staff instrument, we can calculate the label at this point, and this point, and this point, and this point. We will make a grid by knowing this, by putting this value of elevation of corner, and then we can draw the elevation. We can draw the contour lines. Okay. So this elevation we can get by interpolation, doing between this and this. Okay. Interpolation at this point we can get by doing the interpolation between these 2 points. This point we can get by doing the interpolation between this point and this point, like that. So we can draw any contour lines like this. So tell me, this method is accurate or direct method is accurate? I would say direct method is accurate, but this method is very easy, but direct method is tedious. It will be take a lot of time to do that. Okay. This method is also called spot leveling. Next method is by cross section. You can see in the figure what we do. We generally by cross section we do this procedure in case of when we are doing for cross section around traverse to the center line of the road, railway and canal. When you will see like a common width for a running for a long run, so like railway, road, canal. Okay, so in that case we can go for the by cross section method. You can do to do the method of contour leveling. Sorry, by cross section we can use to for the method of locating contour. So there are different methods, direct method or indirect method. So direct method, in that we can go for the vertical control or horizontal control. In the direct method we can use by a square or by you can use cross section. So in this method what we do, so this is the showing the cross section of a road. Okay, so what we do, just we mark on line, and at every dotted point you can see in the figure here, this is dotted point, this is dotted point, and every dotted point we just calculate the elevation. At every dotted points we just take the calculation, we take the elevation. So once we have done this with every dotted points, we have calculated the elevation by using the leveling stab instrument. Okay, once it is done, then we can go for the drawing a contour lines. So how we can do? We can calculate a contour line with the interpolation by using the interpolation between this dotted line. Suppose some level, some elevation are coming in between these. So we will do interpolation between two dot. Okay, the spacing of this line. So we will that the spacing of this line will be depend upon the purpose of survey. That will depend upon the nature of the ground. Okay, if the nature of ground is undulating, then we will keep this line will be closure. Okay, if the that ground is like flat ground, they will keep the closure. If the ground is undulated, then we will keep it will apart. So that will depend upon the purpose of survey. That will depend upon the nature of the ground. Okay, so once it is done, then we, by the using the interpolation, we can draw this line. So suppose we have mark here a dot and the elevation we got at this point is 100 meter. Okay, and this point is for example, let's see 102 meter. Okay, I just crossed. I'm drawing a contour line with the elevation of 101 meter. Okay, I'm drawing a contour line with the elevation 101 meter. So by the interpolation, we will calculate. Okay, so this point is coming here with 101. Now this point is around, let's see, 100. This point is coming 100. 1 meter, 100.5 meter, for example, and this point is coming 102.5 meter. So by interpolation, we got this point. This point is showing, okay, 101 meter. Now we will do continuously. We will calculate of elevation where elevation of this 101 meter elevation, and then after marking this point, we can draw a line through that elevation, that is same elevation of 101 meter. So this we can call a contour line. Similarly, we can draw different contour line with different elevation. Okay, so this method is useful in the case of railway, road, canal. Okay, where you will see that a narrow, a constant bit is running from a long run like this. So we can draw a cross section here and we can calculate a different point. We can calculate the elevation, and then by using the interpolation, we can draw a contour lines. Third method is by technometric method. So this is also indirect method. How we are defining indirect? देखो, जो कंटूर लाइंस हम ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, अगर यहीं पे हमने लेवलिंग स्टाफ से हमने अगर निकाला है इसका एलिवेशन, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड डायरेक्ट मेथड. सो दैट विल कॉल ए डायरेक्ट मेथड. लेकिन हम देख रहे हैं, आपने देखा कि प्रीवियस केस में भी बाय क्रॉस सेक्शन में भी बाय स्क्वायर बाय दिस मेथड आल्सो वी विल सी वी आर नॉट calculating elevation on contour lines. Okay, one point will coincide, that is another thing, but we are not, we are calculating elevation at different point, and doing the interpolation we are drawing a contour lines. So that is called indirect method. Okay, now technometer. This method is very useful in the case of hilly region, in the case of where we cannot calculate this horizontal distance between instrument and staff. So we are not able to, when we are not able to calculate the horizontal distance, so in that case it will be very useful. So what we do, so this is the leveling instrument. You can see the total ID is here, and this is the Styria wire. You can read 3 wire. So we can take the reading from the bottom wire and the top wire. We will deduct the difference. We'll deduct these two value, and we can get the S, that is stop intercept. A stop intercept. So once we have this stop intercept, then we can calculate the horizontal distance also and vertical distance also. Right? No need to calculate the vertical distance. No need to calculate the horizontal distance between 2 points. So this is the advantage of one of the advantage by using this method, trigonometric method. So how we can get this value? So you can say in the case of here the formula is D. So we can calculate D in this case Ks plus C. Ks plus C. Where what is K and C? So here K and C are the instrument constant. Instrument constant. Okay. So that you can calculate also. K and C. How we can calculate K and C? So I'm going to discuss how we can calculate instrument constant, that is K and C. So what you will do, you will fix I'm just explaining a different method to calculate K and C. हमें नहीं पता कितना होगा, तो हम क्या करेंगे, फ्लैट ग्राउंड पे ही इंस्ट्रूमेंट को रखेंगे, लेवलिंग स्टाफ को रखेंगे. ओके, वी विल मेजर द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन leveling staff, instrument to the leveling staff. Suppose this distance is d1 we get. Okay, and we will read this data and we will calculate S. So I'm giving a name S1. So we have K S1 plus C, one equation. Now keep leveling staff some other point, like here I'm keeping here. So now again you calculate the distance between leveling staff and instrument, that is D2. And again read the calculate the Stydia leveling staff intercept S. You can calculate staff intercept S, that is S2. So we have D2, we have S2. Again we can write a relation like D2 is equal to K S2 plus C. 2. Now we have two equation, two unknown. We can solve by using two equation. By solving we can get the K and C. Okay, so we can calibrate also, like what value is K and C. In some instrument you will see that K and C value are given. So in that case you will just match, okay, whether that data is given that for K and C is correct or not. Okay, how we can do? Keep a leveling staff at a position, take the staff intercept S1, measure the horizontal distance between staff to leveling staff to the instrument, that is D1. So we can write this equation. Okay, and again change the position of this leveling staff, take the distance, horizontal distance, that is D2, take the staff intercept, that is S2. We have two equation, two unknown. By solving we can get the value K and C. Right, now come to the trigonometry method of locating contours. So K is equal to Ks plus C. Right, so once we have K, that is instrument constant, by knowing the value of S we can say, okay, D will be the horizontal distance, will be the D, that is Ks plus C, without measuring the horizontal distance. So in the case of hilly region where you cannot measure the horizontal distance between the instrument and leveling staff, so in that case we can use this trigonometric method. Okay, when you will see that ground is elevated, this is a very important. When you will see the ground is elevated, so in this case also by measuring this S staff intercept, you can calculate the horizontal distance and vertical distance also. So horizontal distance here is H, to see in the figure, and vertical distance is V. So H will be K S cos square theta plus K2 K1 K2 cos theta, or V vertical distance between this point or station A and B. So that will be the h tan theta. Here h is the horizontal distance between the instrument and leveling star. B is the vertical distance between instrument and leveling star, we can say. Okay. Theta K1 and K2. Here K1 and K2 are constant, are instrument constant. Okay. And theta is the angle of center. Center is, you can see there is a middle wire. So theta is the angle between the middle wire that is elevated with the horizontal. So how much elevated, that will show by theta. So angle with the horizontal of this middle wire, that is called theta. You can see in the figure, this one, by middle wire. So that theta we can measure. So if the theodolite is we are using, we can, there is a vertical direction, there is a circular scale is there. So by knowing the grade, knowing this divisions, we can calculate the angle, that is theta, we can calculate. So by knowing the theta, K1, K2 we have instrument, and we will take the staff reading, staff intercept by keeping the staff at B. So without calculating the horizontal distance and vertical distance, we can calculate h and v. So that is one of the best advantage of by using the tachometric method. Interpolation of contour. Interpolation of contour. So interpolation of contour means spacing the contours proportionally between the plotted ground points, like we have seen in this previous slide. Okay, this one, like these plotted points on the ground, and this one drawing, and we have to find this point where the contour liner passing from this point. So this we have located this point by the interpolation. So we have to keep according to their elevation. According to their elevation, we have to find what a spacing will be from the plotted points, plotted ground points, right? Like ground points, we have this one, and this height elevation is 100 meter. This one is 105 meter, and the elevation contour line with the elevation we have to draw like 2 meter, 102 meter. So proportionally, we will decide, okay, this will come here by interpolation. So by locating this point, it's called interpolation. Okay, now read the statement again. Interpolation of the contours is the process of spacing the contours proportionally between the plotted ground points established in direct method. Right? Same assumption that we are going to take here also, that interpolation based on that this assumption that the slope of ground between the 2 points uniform. Between 2 points like A and B will be uniform. Interpolation can be do by 3 methods: by estimation, by arithmetic calculation. So by estimation we can do for the very small work, and very roughly we can do like, okay, this one is 100 meter, this one is 102 meters. Okay, 101 it will come in between here. So no need to do any calculation. By estimation, we are just locating the contour points. Okay, so that is called estimation. By arithmetic calculation, like we have shown in the previous lecture also, like you can see in the figure, in this case, like you can see like A, B, C, D. A point has elevation 607.4, B has elevation 617.4. Okay, so we can calculate this distance. What is the distance? What is the difference between these elevations? So this elevation we are going to calculate like 670.4 minus 607.4. It is coming 10 meter. 617.4, 607.4, 10 meter. Okay. Now this interpolation is going. What is this this contour lines? This contour lines of elevation is 610. Okay, 610. So elevation which has a 610. So now just see here this point. Okay, and this point. Okay, the elevation of this point is 617.4. That is B in picture. At A, elevation is 607.4. Now, this height is 10. Okay. Now, this height, this elevation, have to locate elevation of what? 610. 610. So, vertical height will be 610 and this 607. So, it will come 2.6 meter. So, now we have the vertical, then we can calculate the horizontal one. Okay. And horizontal distance between A to B, just assume here like 5 meter. So what will be this height? So that we can calculate here like 5 meter divided by 10 divided by into 2.6. 5 difference between this elevation between this point. Elevation is given from 10 by 5 by 10, then 2.6. Okay, so we are getting here, we'll get some value. Okay, 30. So it is coming 1.3. So it will come around here. So this distance will be 1.3 if this distance is 5. Okay, so we can see, okay, this point, the contour having elevation 610 will come here. Okay, so that we are going accurately. We are doing accurately by taking assumption, okay, slope will be uniform. This slope will be uniform, right? So that is called arithmetic calculation. In the most of cases, you will see we are doing the interpolation by arithmetic calculation only. Now, graphical method. So graphical method, there are two methods, the first graphical method and second graphical method. In first graphical method, see, in this case, we have calculated that this distance by interpolation, by arithmetic, by assuming that a slope will be uniform between A and B, right? So that is doing by tracing paper here. So on tracing paper, we are drawing a number of parallel lines with equal uh, interval, right? So you can see in this figure example. So we have started from elevation 99, then 105, and in each 1 meter you can see there is a 5 division, 1 3 4 5 division. So each division has a length 0.2 meter. Each division has a length 0.2 meter. Now, so after drawing this, so every 5 division we can draw a line by a dark. You can keep this line dark, so it will differentiate by other line. Okay. So now we have to do the interpolation between A and B. A has a elevation 99.2 meter and B has a elevation 100.7 meter. So you can draw a line between them on this tracing paper. We can draw. Okay. Now, so at different point, we can see like point X will show 99. Suppose we have to draw a line of contour line of elevation 99.5, 100, 100.5. So just draw, just mark the point which we are going to draw, which that elevation we are going to draw contour interval. Okay, so एक बार ये अगर mark कर लेंगे तो so point is showing with 99.5 elevation is X, with 100 elevation is 100 meter elevation is Y, then Z is 100.5, right? Once it is done, then keep the tracing paper on drawing. Suppose this is the drawing we have. So keep the tracing paper here. Okay, it will be match this point A and B. Okay, here the elevation is 670, here is point is 99. So just assume the elevation is same one because uh, we are taking this dressing paper on this drawing. So what we will do, just keep parallel point A somewhere here 99.2 and keep the tracing paper at B has a point 100.7 and just rotate. So every mark this line on the X, Y and Z, we can transfer this point that is on tracing paper on drawing. Like on tracing paper point X is here and on drawing Y then Z. Okay, so we can see, we can say, okay, from this point interpolation of elevation 99.5 can pass. At this point interpolation, the contour line with the elevation 100 meter can pass through this point. Are you getting my point? So here no need to use calculation, no need to do calculation. Calculation is done by this divisions. Calculation is done by this paper because this tracing paper we have converted into a scale format like 99, 100, this on every division is giving us 0.2. So once line AB is marked on the tracing paper, then we can locate the point जिसका हमें contour line draw करने जा रहे हैं. एक बार हमें locate हो गया, then we'll keep the tracing paper on drawing and then we will transfer X, Y, Z point on this drawing paper. And when it is done, then we can draw the contour line. Second method, there is a X. Suppose we have to draw a contour, we have to do interpolation between X and Y. So just mark the X and Y with the elevation 99, 98, 99. At the center, at some distance O, draw a line from O to X and it every division. So in this case also, you can say like each division is showing 0.2 meter. 0.2 meter, right? So, and every division just draw from a line from O, just meet the line O. Okay, now suppose a line AB, that elevation is A is 97.6 and B is 101.B. So line को वहां के को ले जाओ जहां पे आप उसको नोट कर पा रहे हो, like length of line AB is this one, so keep here. And this one, then keep here like this. And then what जिसका आपको कंटूर लाइन ड्रॉ करना है उस पॉइंट को यहाँ पे लोकेट करो. सो इन दिस फिगर यू कैन सी बाय वी हैव लोकेटेड बाय x, y, x and w, u, right? Once it is done, then take the tracing paper on drawing sheet or on drawing and then transfer this point x, y, z on w, u point to the drawing sheet. So कब हम ट्रांसफर करेंगे? Once we will just make sure, okay, this line AB is parallel to the line which is on in drawing sheet, on drawing paper. Okay, now we can locate this point U, W, X, Y on this drawing sheet. Okay, so this is the second method. Generally, we use this arithmetic calculation to do the interpolation. Contour gradient. So contour gradient is a line lying throughout on the surface of the ground, preserving a constant inclination to the horizontal. Right? So contour gradient is a line with carrying a constant inclination. Suppose ground is like this. Say constant inclination. It will show a contour. Contour gradient. So contour gradient is very useful to get the intervisibility between 2 points. If the line, a ground is lying below the this contour gradient, means we can say these two station is visible to each other, right? Once you will see the contour gradient line is going up, the ground is going above this contour gradient, then we can say that these 2 points are not visible. Right. In the figure, you can see like A to B, this dotted line, B to C, D to C. These are the contour gradient, which elevation is constant. Sorry, inclination, which inclination is constant with the horizontal. फिगर में देख के नहीं लग रहा ना, क्योंकि फिगर ये जो है ये एलिवेशन को डिनोट कर रहा है, लाइन एलिवेशन को बता रहा है. ओके, सो ग्राउंड के बीच में अगर आप देखोगे, ग्राउंड का कुछ ऐसा होगा, यहाँ मेजर नहीं किया होता 94. सबसे देख सकते हो ग्राउंड, अगर इसका हम फिगर बनाएंगे इतने पोर्शन का, ओके, इसका हम फिगर बना रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ये 94, सपोज ये 94 यहाँ पे है, देन दिस पॉइंट इंटरपोलेशन इज शोइंग 96 समवेयर हियर, देन 98, देन 100, राइट. एंड ग्राउंड मान लेते हैं कुछ ऐसा होगा, समथिंग लाइक दिस. Okay, so interpolation gradient will be like this. This is the gradient line. A straight line with constant inclination. This angle will be constant inclination. So this is called contour gradient. This figure also you can say like this line A to B, this is also contour gradient. So you can get the idea by drawing the contour gradient on this plan or drawing paper, drawing sheet. So you can get the idea, okay, which point is above the drawing this ground and this point is below this contour gradient. So you can get the idea about other points also. Usage of contour maps. So first use is drawing a section. Suppose this is a contour map. So by using this contour map, we can draw this cross section. Like you can see in the figure, this point is representing, and just cut the section through AB. We are going to draw a cross section at AB. Okay, so this point is showing 40 meter. 40 meter elevation. Okay, this point is showing 30 meter, means slightly downward to the this one here. So by locating, by knowing this contour plan and by knowing this value, it's plotted shown here, 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter. So you can get the cross section. You can get the idea about how ground is varying, where the ground is elevated, where the ground is going downward, where the ground is going slightly upward. So you can get the whole idea. Okay. So by knowing this, you can get the idea. Okay, that you can do the earthwork calculation also. Earthwork calculation also. Or also you can get the idea about where, suppose we are planning for a road, so in what area and how the in what direction that road will be useful, like cutting or filling will be useful. Okay, so for that work also you can define, like when we will come to the doing the surveying. So by doing this this contour plan, you can get by drawing this cross section. So you can get the idea, okay, in what direction you will draw a we will construct a road, then that would be economical. So there is a lot of use by drawing this cross section. Earthwork calculation in railway, canal, road, airport, like wherever you are going to do the earthwork calculation, like cutting, all those things. Second method, that second useful use, that determination of intervisibility between point A and B, that you can understand in this figure. Now elevation, this drawing sheet you can see. Okay, so elevation of point A is 70 meter, elevation of point B is 102 meter. Okay, so now we are going to see, okay, that point A and B, these are the points where the intervisible or not. Okay, so 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 what we can do, just draw a line between A to B, this dotted line. Okay, and and you can see like this is 70 meter, this is 102 meter elevation. So vertical distance, we can call this distance, we can call 32 meter. We can calculate 32 meter. So this 32 meter distance of AB vertical distance, that divided in number of parts. Okay, and just mark this dot point with the 75 meter elevation, 80 meter elevation, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, once it is done, then contour of, see the point D. At this point, on this line AB, this point is showing the 80 meter elevation. But you can see the point E, this one is showing 80 meter. Showing 80 meter. What is meaning of this? It means here the ground is elevated compared to this line AB. So once some ground is elevated means that point A and B is not visible. The station A and B are not visible, right? You can see by figure also, this portion is elevated on this line, means station A and B is not visible. So this is also important, because when you are going to work, so you will see that you will do that distance between A and B, the horizontal distance between A and B will be in kilometers. So in that case, you have to see like there is you have to check the intervisibility also. So for that work, we have that contour map is important. Okay. Tracing of contour gradient and location of route. Okay, in the case of many cases like railway and roadway, you have to draw the contour gradient so that we can do the earthwork calculation. Okay, so this you can see the point A, the dotted line, it is the contour gradient. What is contour gradient? Contour gradient is line which is a constant inclination with the horizontal, right? So now you can see in the figure the contour line, this is with the 99 meter, 100 meter, 101 meter, 2 meter, okay, 103 meter, 5, 6, 7, okay. So I'm going to draw a constant inclination. Let's assume that 1 in 25 meter on the ground, right? So just convert according to a scale, just convert in map distance. Okay, so 25 meter means we have to locate 25 meter distance, horizontal distance. Means everywhere it should be like this, 25 meter horizontal, then 1 vertical. Okay, we are going to draw this line. (25) 1. So what we can do, keep from this point, draw a arc of 25 meter by a scale. Suppose the scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 25 meter. So the scale length will be 1 centimeter. 25 meter I'm writing because 25 meter on the ground distance. On map it would be according to the scale. I get my point. Suppose a scale is showing 1 centimeter is equal to 25 meter. So this will be the 1 centimeter. And so contour lines with elevation 100 meter, it will cut at a point that give a name A. Now from the A, draw a arc. It will cut elevation of contour with a 101 meter B, C. Similarly, you can get the point A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, now draw a line from connecting these points, passing from these points. So this will be the contour. So this will be the contour line. 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 So this gradient, contour gradient. Measurement of drainage area also, you can calculate the drainage area by using this contour map. You can see in the figure, for example, this red line, a red line which has a contour line. So it is not visible, but you can see like this side elevation is more. This side is inside this line, red line. This side less elevation. Less elevation. We can say, okay, water can be collected here. We can also call a reservoir on. So this line, whatever the area will be formed by this red line, whatever the area will be formed by this red line, that is called drainage area. Okay, so that we can calculate using the planimeter, another method also. So we can use this area. Reservoir capacity. So in this figure, you can see here, hatching portion, this line is of 100-meter elevation. Sorry. See, so showing 100-meter elevation means contour is, this is the contour line of 100-meter elevation. So you can see like if you are going this side, then elevation is more. Okay. See, the elevation is more. It means you can say, okay, water can be stored here. Water can be stored here. Okay, so this area, whatever the area we are getting, that is drainage area, and this volume we can calculate, that is called reservoir capacity. So there are different methods that I will discuss in next lecture. So how we can calculate the reservoir capacity, their volume, their area. Intersection of surface and measurement of earthwork. Also I will discuss in next lecture that how we are going to measure the earthwork, how we are going to measure the drainage area, how we are going to measure that reservoir capacity. These are the some references that I'm taken to make this lecture. In the next lecture, I will discuss measurement about drainage area, measurement about volume, reservoir capacity,